The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are those of the host/guest and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any of BXR entities and those they represent.
And we know what it gives. It's more to life than dying, so yeah, you better live. Y'all back, and it's another Thursday right here with the goddess ChasReal, the Empress Lady Cake Mix. Today's topic is what's the business? Because guess what? We got some business to talk about, and we're going to talk about it all. I have a guest with me tonight. I'm going to introduce her in a few, but you know how we do when we get it started. We got to first give a shout out to everyone who has joined me watching. Special shout out to those who have not yet. But guess what? Like, comment, and share throughout the show. If you haven't liked the page, please go and do so. You know I love for you to come through. Come and talk to me because I love to talk to you. What's up? What's up? What's what? What's why? Good people, we are here. First, giving honor and glory to God. God bless everyone who's watching, everyone who does not get the opportunity to watch. Oh, dear God, continue to keep us and hold us, Lord. You already know. We already know, Lord. We don't question you, but we do have questions, oh Father God. Continue to keep us, oh Father God. Continue to let everyone know to trust on you and lean on your understanding. We know nothing happens miraculously. However, we just are questioning why things are happening, Lord. Hold us. We thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercy, Lord. Watch over the city, all of the families. Touch the hearts of all of the people that are grieving right now, Lord Father God. Bless over our schools, our teachers, just our whole community, oh Father God. We love you. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. That's how we got to start it off, y'all, because there's so much darkness in the world. And that's right. You know me. I'm going to bring that light. So today's topic is what's the business? And I got my girl here, Shelena Brown from Blossom Blends, definitely is going to be with me to talk about her business and the benefits of the whole herbal mentality, holistic approach, natural remedies to some of our illnesses. I thought it was appropriate to bring her on here because, first of all, I want to give y'all an update about this E. coli in our system. Now, people are still saying that they need accountability. They got questions like, what's going on? Y'all know that we had a call to boil water for a few days right here in Baltimore, where they say West Baltimore of the city. But my thing was, all these pipes running through, baby, if it's affecting me, it's affecting you. But I don't know. Now that the call is off, a lot of residents are saying they still don't trust it. The way that the city council is responding is that they set up 3 investigative meetings. I think the first one was happening today, 2 more to follow next Thursday and the following Thursdays to address the E. coli. One of the West Baltimore residents in the Sanchester, Harlem Park neighborhood is getting help from Fox 45 Project Baltimore to actually get an independent company to test the water after Baltimore City is alleging in reports that it came out that is no more issues with our water supply. They said that they have enhanced the chlorization of the water, and I think I was smelling it and tasting it a little bit. Had to pick my baby up a little bit early today because you know we was using the bottled waters and all that stuff like that, but I think he brushed his throat was a little issue. I don't know. I know I seen a lady on the news already saying that she was sick or whatever. I'll say that, but I just hope that ain't the case or whatever. My tongue feel I don't know. But anyway, we're going to talk about it and what's the business. You know how I run the segments on what in the world. We got some good what in the world and of course the what in the what. But without further ado, so I can get my girl in here on this discussion with me, I appreciate her for joining me tonight. Shelena Brown, Blossom Blends. How you doing this evening?
Hey, how are you? Thank you.
Hey, Miss Brown, how you feeling?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I am good. Wow, you know, I already gave you a good salute, big shout out for joining me. Shelena Brown, you were actually my first caller, my girlfriend from Penguin. So we go way, way, way back. When we got to
21 years.
Yes.
22 years. Sorry, 22.
Oh, yeah.
They're 21. So 22 years. Yes.
22. So that says a lot. Okay. You know, I struggled all my life to have connections with people, especially women, you know, and no fault of my own. So we always say the genuine connections, girl. So, you know, I appreciate you for that.
I appreciate you too, friend.
Yeah, you know, we always, as friends, always just talking, but we lost touch for a little while. And then when I got back in contact with my girl, it was a little bit before COVID came in, and she had launched her business. What is it, 2 years running now? For Blossom Blends, where basically concentrates on the herbal supplements of addressing some health issues. So, girl, you heard me talking about that E. coli, girl. I'm always usually paranoid about all type of health type of stuff. But let's just, what's going on with your business at Blossom Blends? Tell a little bit people about it.
Okay, well, first and foremost, my business, I got into holistic medicine, I would say probably like in 2006 when I worked for an integrative medicine department. I seen how remedies and homeopathy is what they call it. Mm-hmm. Was very beneficial to people, and how they were taking and using an alternative style to, you know, for healthcare. And I seen that it worked. So initially I started off just doing my own history and trying things myself, using on my children, and just really adapted it for my family and my friends. When I made it available, or decided to make it available, was when, you know, this pandemic thing happened. You know, pandemic was a word that scared me. So it was like, okay, what are we to do now? You know, and I believe in herbs. I'm not against medicine. That's your choice, but, you know, more of an herbal approach. And that's what I did. So people were getting COVID. You know what I mean? What can help with that? You know what I mean? You got people going to the hospital, family scared. It was something that happened. So it was things that I had, and I just tried to make it available to people one way or another. CMOS was the first thing that I seen that helped me, and that was way before that with a lot of things. So see that I, you know, believed in, took myself. Like I said, me and my family use it, and I found different ways to do that. It was getting a person to consume it as a gel, topical, making soaps. You know, just
girl, you had that good everything. I know you had that good 90 salts and the V-stem services, as well as the body sculpting. Yes, I've laid on your table. Yes. It's definitely been a pleasure. I know you had the sauna bag and everything else like that. So you, so basically, you were saying that you was highly interested in getting into it more so, the development and launching the business, in 2020, like right when that pandemic hit and everything else.
Right.
Okay.
So that was more of the herb things, and just as far as then, you know, it was this new trendy thing with everyone going to get body sculpt. Did my homework and, you know, took a class. Shout out to one of the best instructors that I ever had, because she taught me a lot as far as being able to do things that alter the body and have those same results without doing it non-invasively. So, you know, as you see what can be done.
Yeah, girl, it worked. It worked. You know, those little box, what's your name that I got? And I know I definitely laid on that table, got that nice little I don't know what method that you had used, but
we did contouring, and we also did wood therapy. I've done compression therapy on you. I've done a lot, you know, and like you said, the yoni
thing. That black stuff that girl, that wore me out. That was especially when I had to take it off. But anyway, you know, our services are highly, highly, highly recommended, Shelena. Tell them how they can contact you at Blossom Blends, because I know you also had like some beverages too, because I remember coming back across you and you gave me that tea that was like for energy. And then when you learned about my mother battled with cancer and everything else like that, I think you had the colonial silver.
Lighter silver. I have herbs
everything.
everything. So there are blends and juices, teas that are available. I personalize everything to a person. You can get a supplement, whether it's for your circulation, whatever, CBD products, anything. You can, it's herbs for everything.
She got the waist trainer. She got all that. So make sure y'all hit my girl up for some solutions on some natural remedies to something.
If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can always follow me on Instagram at Blossom Blends. It's BLOSSOMBLENDZ. Again, my name is Shelena. With a Z, Zens. Come get blended. Come get blended. If you got any questions, you don't have to purchase anything. If you have any questions about anything, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Yeah, please don't hesitate to comment why she is on here, because you know how I wanted to ask, that's how I'm bringing on this platform. If you do have some questions about some healthier alternatives, some herbal alternatives to something that you are addressing medically, please comment. We're going to open up the phone line. She's going to be here with me discussing a couple more of my topics. But she here. I got her here. I bring on this platform to help my people know and to grow. And sis, with this E. coli that is going on. Yes, the phone line is 443-642-9403. So don't hesitate. You can also jump into this comment box, and Shelena Brown from Blossom Blends is here to give you some information. But sis, with this E. coli and all this stuff going on, we still got COVID, we still got the monkeypox. What is the herbal or something that you recommend to kind of like boost your immune system? Because that helps like with all of that, right?
Yes, it's a whole lot of it's multiple herbs. One of them that I personally use on a regular basis is moringa, soursop, echinacea, elderberry.
Yes, I know about the echinacea.
I'm making just waters like off of rinds, ginger, just like I said, different blends that you can, but mainly that's the ones that I normally do, and the sea moss when I do myself.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I know about that echinacea. I also tried before when I was having some of that black seed oil. It's disgusting. Yes. It's black seed oil, right?
Black seed oil, yes. But they also do come in capsule form. I also do have them available in capsule form. Me too.
I need the capsules, honey, because I had that pearl oil, and I'm telling you, it was a struggle. It's like, I don't know what it's like. It's oil consistency, and it's hot.
Yes, and it's like that burning sensation going down. Oh man,
yes. Honey, I was taking it every day. When COVID was first running rapid, I was taking it every single day.
Right.
Just for precautions.
Yes.
Keep my immune system boosted. I remember me having orange pills and lemon pills in the pot. So
staying those.
I would just breathe it in.
Which is very, very good. I think that people should do that just on a regular anyway, because again, COVID is still around. We don't know. A lot of people choose not to wear masks. That's your choice. But just encouraging, even for you just to get the good,
Especially if you anything like me, I always get flack all the time that I'm not vaxxed.
Yeah. Oh, girl.
I'm not vaxxed. It's not like that. So I always get the witch name all the time. But I'm definitely considering it because, like I said, I was trying to go to the DR through the being exposed concierge. However, the day,
I know that.
the last day or whatever. So I don't know, but next year or whatever, I'm definitely joining the initiative, and I'm definitely going to be traveling. So just for a couple of the what in the world, we're going to break down some of the stuff that's going on right here in Baltimore City. We talked about the E. coli, and like I said, I got Blossom Blends owner here, right here, y'all, to give y'all some answers to some of your health questions. She the bomb when it comes to what they call you, Shelena, the witch doctor. Good witch doctor. So it comes to them blends and stuff. I need some more turmeric to lighten up my my elbows or whatever. But all of her services, God was like, I can tell you, highly recommend it. I highly would recommend it. Yes, I would. I'm not just saying that because it was my friend. I went through the whole experience, paid my fees, even teased her. When we had to cancel some important. I was going to call a Better Business Bureau. We're going to talk about that again too later. Because we also just wanted to, while we have her on here and you being a business owner, talk about some of the struggles that you did face for us, like, you know, just running the business and some of the support. But let me run some of this stuff down on what in the world that's going on in Baltimore City, and we're going to talk about it. We got to hear the whole show, so don't hesitate, you guys. So Shelena, you know Miss Marilyn Mosby, honey.
Yes.
Marilyn Mosby. They still coming for a sister here. Well, let me tell you about Miss Marilyn Mosby. It was supposed to start today where she was going to get her jury selection, and they were looking forward to a trial next week. However, it has been delayed because the prosecution is saying that they did not submit documentation regarding some expert witnesses that her defense had. So now it was necessary for a postponement, and that's what's going on with that. So of course, you know, she's claiming her innocence throughout all of these allegations, throughout all of these charges. Basically, they saying that Miss Marilyn Mosby lied on herself to take her own money. You know, she said she had a hardship during the COVID with some of her businesses, but the government is saying she still maintained a 6-figure income, and she basically lied to borrow money from her retirement savings and basically purchased 2 Florida homes. In the midst of that, it also was announced today, a brother here, Anon Saeed, who was convicted of the 1999 killing of the Walbrook girl. Something Ming Lee. Y'all know I got my notes because y'all know I be trying to do my research so I can bring it to y'all. Bring it to y'all for real. But yeah, so it was just announced today that they were going to vacate his sentence. Back in, I think it was 2014, his story became real popular through a podcast called ChasReal, which led to a HBO series on the topic. It was a documentary that had 4 actual series to the whole documentary telling his whole case. And I viewed it. And in my opinion, he was innocent. So in 2018, that's his picture right there. I wanted to show a picture. He was locked up from 18, so he is approaching his 23rd year of being arrested. Coming up his 20th year. Who's that, Princeton showing off?
Yeah, yes. I'm so sorry.
But approaching his 20th year, when he was arrested, our state's attorney office, who was handling it down there, Daryl Faraja was actually handling it. Then it got moved to the Maryland State Court of Special Appeals in 2018, where they took up his request for a retrial, but then later on in 2019, it was denied. So a lot of spectators, because you know they always come, and I meshed all this together to bring up this point. They're saying that Marilyn Mosby had 8 years to address this. And it's ironic that while they are announcing the postponement of her case, that they would announce out of her office that they are vacating his sentence for, you know, having evidence that show. I mean, girl, you got to look at the documentary.
I'm gonna check it out just because that sounds interesting.
Yes, at this time I was working downtown, and I remember it just was a whole bunch of chaos. That picture that's up there on the screen, that's when they was bringing him out, like right there on the side of Lexington Street, from the courthouse when he was trying to get his retrial. So the documentary is awesome. Basically, at the end, Daryl Farage and them boys wanted him to admit to him being guilty for the murder of his ex-girlfriend at the time. Both of them attended Walbrook High School, but he refused. So this was him already being detained for 20 years. And he refused. He said, I'm not saying that I am guilty just to get out next year. I don't know what I would have did. 20 years, I would have said, but he said he'd been in there all that time. So be it. A lot of people were saying that it's political, girl, because he was Muslim, you know. And the young lady that was supposed to not supposedly, but the young lady that was murdered. I think she was Korean, Oriental. And that's back when they was coming real heavily in our communities with their stores and everything else like that. So yes, it's just a real interesting thing. But I was like, how did they link her case rate that had to be postponed to bringing this out? Y'all mess with the lady so much, she ain't had time to do nothing. I mean, so thank goodness, let her do what she can do before she get out of there, because her last day is supposed to be January 6th. You got any thoughts on that?
It's just so political, and it's just so, honestly, it's so cross-tied, and I think it's just all a big ass distraction, honestly, when we need to be looking out for real. I mean, honestly, personally, it's a big distraction with what the hell is really, really going on. And, just even with hearing all that, how the hell do we feel? What's really, really going on? You know what I mean? So, me personally, I think it's a distraction. I think they're coming for. You know what I mean? They want a spot. Me and a friend of mine would talk about it the other day, and she was explaining to me how she felt about it, how she feel like they want her out of there because, she's, putting cops away and this, that, and the third.
They've been after Marilyn Mosby ever since she, put those charges out on the police about that Freddie Gray.
Yeah, so
nobody saying.
Right, and with all of that going on,
and not prosecuting the low level.
Bottom line, either you vote, a vote is a fucking vote. If you don't vote, it's a vote. You understand what I'm saying? It's about people understanding and having knowledge and understanding that their vote does count one way or another. You know what I mean? So what the hell can we really say unless you put these people in place? And of course, they're going to come for. That's just my personal thing.
Well, I believe that it was a huge benefit that she was put in place.
Yeah, definitely.
But like I said, you can just a witch hunt on her head, because we dealing with this department who is a whole gang who can't do anything wrong. So it was given like the audacity of Marilyn Mosby to check after the Freddie Gray, and ever since then, it's like this lady just really never had a chance. Everything that I feel that she put forth, she was like really one of those who got in there and really was trying to make change that would benefit us, and things that she's seen that basically played against us for too long. Like,
we spoken about this, and I agree with you on a lot of things. And even with her being in there and the job that she's done and what she's done, you know what I mean? But my question is what's supposed to happen after she got? You know what I'm saying? That's what we need to be looking at. You know what I mean? It's distraction.
It's going to be a whole bunch that's going to be happening, girl. They cannot wait to be pulling people over saying I smell marijuana, harassing people, whatever. I mean, my whole thing is that's what State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby was not going for, was that type of harassment, that type of this culture, the brutality of the police on Baltimore City. She recognized it, and she definitely was trying to make her change. Like I say, even falls to the point where the state's attorney office is designed to vacate this guy's case and give him another day in court, because new evidence they're saying was not shared about potential other suspects. A lot of a telephone evidence,
conversations and stuff,
and stuff like that. It was a lot of that evidence used actually to convict him, which they're saying was inaccurate back then, as far as with these stuff like that. It was really inaccurate. And he was her ex-boyfriend at the time. She had another boyfriend. He was dating somebody else. Parents never really approved of that relationship because of their different ethnic backgrounds, their different races.
Of course, right.
Her being a Chinese girl, him being a Muslim. So it never was approved of or whatever. So when it came out and everything, and once they start following the lead that he did it, it kind of like stuck there. But like I said, you gotta watch that documentary.
I'm actually looking it up now while I'm
Yes,
talking.
you gotta look at it, girl. It's on HBO. Is the case against Adnan Saeed, Adnan. It run and it has actually 4 parts documentary. The first, Forbidden Love, In Between the Truth, Justice is Arbitrary, and the last one is Time is the Killer, and that's
and I hope that he does get, a chance, and I'm glad that he is at least getting it there in court. You know what I mean? Just to play his name or a chance of that's excellent.
Yes, it's awesome. Like I said, she's ready to come out of there on January 6th. Unfortunately, we've been blindsided. There's been so much controversy surrounding her since she's put those charges and wanted to do something with the people. Because I just want her to come in there and fall in line and
and follow what's going on. And she, bucks. So that don't never.
And she was trying to plant a different seed down in that office, and they're so used to those rotten apples hanging on that tree down there, that they pushed against that change, and even as far as the residents here in Baltimore City, we said that these was things we want. We finally voted, got somebody up in that office that was for us, and look what they did.
And it's when is it a win-win ever? You know what I mean?
And the fact that she's a Black woman, blank period, girl, they just basically went for that lady demise. And right now, even with this trial, this indictment that she has from the FBI that she is fighting, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. She never really got to do what she needed to do completely because of all of that. So
and after that, and in those cases, I mean, they had to put a some kind of rein on it some kind of way. You get what I'm saying? You can't be doing this. And look, if any kind of where we can come together, and as far as in the city when that happened, it was smoke in the city because of that. It was smoke everywhere.
Yes.
So I mean, so with that, and we get ignited and actually come to ignite and unite, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem.
Oh, it's definitely going to be a problem. So they don't want to see that. They want to see us us coming together, loving each other, and doing stuff like that. That makes us more powerful. They don't want to see that.
But you see what gets highlighted so much. You don't see the love. You don't see the coming together. You don't see the unity. You know what I mean? Like you'll see people, they don't turn into that because it's not. You understand what I'm saying? It's So I get you.
Positivity, but we telling y'all and we telling it, like I said, sometimes it takes a celebrity or somebody else to say something, so maybe they should have. But everything she did, I mean, they was even criticizing everything, when she had a couple of campaign commercials and everything. Every little thing she did, they was watching her. And even for us, like this indictment and these charges, I just feel they really, really like dug for that. In the hindsight of it all, if something was, the way I would look at it, if something was reported incorrectly, sometimes it can be an error or whatever. But the way they always put it when it's us is just fraud. It's just fraud. Like, and if she has a 6-figure income and she needed a bar from her retirement, whether she had a 6-figure income or not, like nobody know what that lady finances had to go towards. So just to say because she still had a 6-figure, that's crazy. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? I see your mouth, but I can't hear you.
I said it's her income. Why? If it's her income, you understand what I'm saying? I mean, you had biggest fish to fucking fry prior to her with other people that were in office where they were stealing money from this place.
And it was her money.
It's her fucking money.
It's her money.
That's my thing. It's her money.
Right. And all this fraud and these damn city officials do. If you don't never follow their way, look how they even did with all of them. It's just sad because the last couple of Black mayors and anyone we had here in this leadership, as far as the city government, like they have really like blacklisted them. Catherine.
Oh girl, what's her name? You seen her on what's it called? What's the female American? What's the female names?
Who's
The
that?
newest show, the series that comes on.
Oh, chill.
Yeah.
I was appalled when they had my girl on there. You talking about gangsters?
Yes.
Um,
Them.
American Gangster. Yeah, they
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
American Gangster girl like she was a drug lord. Or like she was killing people. Yeah, that was a whole bunch.
They had her dressed up real nice.
Yes,
Dressed up real pretty.
Oh my goodness. Well, anyway, yeah. So even with Marilyn Monroe, though, her trial is going to take place. The judge who was over it, I think is a Judge Giggins that's down there. And basically he said that because of the delay of them turning in documentation, it was warranted for him to delay it. But she does have the right to a speedy trial. But he just wanted to be fair to make sure that both sides have the ability to prepare for their, I guess their cross-examination during the hearing. But it's definitely been drawn out. Prayer is definitely going out for the sister, and I hope she make out because it was her money. They said she lied and she stole it from her retirement fund. And then coincidentally, no, they said routinely what she did was the announcement of that today. She got her office to announce about the Adnan Sahi case. But follow it, y'all, because like I said, one of the state's attorney, former employees, Daryl Raja, who was running for state's attorney here in the states of Maryland, was included on that documentary. And that's when, from that documentary, I kind of already knew about him. So I kind of really didn't have a liking for him just on his response and everything on how he was dealing with that. So, even in the legal system, it's a system. And I tell you, it's crazy. Like some stuff that's be like, totally like against the law. It still be happening under the law. So just like I know Saeed, Adnan Saeed parents, they were dealing with illnesses and stuff like that. So I think one of them might have even passed away. I know during the trials back in his request for pre-trial was back in 2019, his father was actually refusing to come because he felt like they were getting backlash from showing up in their Muslim cloth and things of that nature. I did agree because that was a couple of things too that they pointed out in the documentary. So yeah, it was a whole bunch. I'm going to keep on following it. I hope he gets out because my opinion.
Check it out. I'm gonna try to do it.
He didn't do it, girl. You gotta look at the documentary, or he did not do that shit.
I'm setting myself up to watch this.
Yes, please do. But some more too. What in the world, right? So we was talking about the Marilyn Mosby. Like I said, prayers up for both of them. I hope she can do all that she can before she has to get out of there on January 6th. And they were saying she did this being political and trying to make that she had 8 years to do it and never addressed it. But my thing is, y'all was holding that lady wings. Y'all was holding her hands. Y'all ain't want her to do nothing when y'all seen that she was really coming in to do what she wanted to do. But some more what in the world, I had brought this up to you when I was talking to you on the phone, a young boy out in Carroll County.
Yeah, right.
Arrested for arson, put a whole Dollar General store on fire where he was going to patronize the store with his mom. He is now released home with his parents, but it took about an hour.
Yeah.
Burned the whole store down to put the fire out. They had him in camera, possibly about like 3 days after or so. They had reviewed the camera. They give the residents of that county big kudos for, I guess, their tips and identifying the young man and his mom. And yeah, he set the store on fire. Could you imagine?
I know I
set his ass on fire.
I'm still. You already know how I feel about that.
Yes, burned down the whole store.
What was you doing? What was you doing?
Girl, well, they kind of showed me walking through the store, and he kind of did like a little lighter little thing or whatever. And yeah, I think started a fire or something. It looked like he had like a lighter or something like that. So I don't know, girl. But out there in coming up, a Dollar General in Hampstead and the state fire marshal, Brian Washi, y'all know I be having problems with my pronunciation. But what's up? What's what? I said it, and y'all know what I said. But he made comments and indicated that it was a devastating fire. Look at that. You see the picture up on the screen?
Yeah, look at you.
Burned it.
Oh my goodness. Yes, damn.
Burned
but
it down.
Did they mention anything about the show and have any mental issues?
No, they didn't. You know, a lot of times people say we always bring up race and everything. I'm saying race and whatever to that, but he was a Caucasian young man. So, you know, a lot of stuff, you know, they'll put it out there, they'll put the information, but they won't really like keep pushing it, and what happened. You know, if it was one of our children, it would have still been playing on the news. That's why I was surprised that you had not heard about it. But you know, our laws here, as far as just like in the Maryland, in that age, I don't think he was charged, but he's not detained. So I don't know what course of action that the courts are going to take or anything for him. But obviously, yeah, he's setting fires. He bold like that. I mean, I hate to assume things. You know, they say assuming asses assume or whatever, but I'm going to assume that yes, he definitely had problems.
I mean, even to be most kids are, you know, afraid of fire, or, you know, been knowed enough that they know not to mess with fire. You know what I mean?
It wasn't like a little piece of paper. You know how like he really.
Yeah, you went through. You've been playing with stuff, and they probably ain't. I had a situation something like that when I was younger. But I ain't burn no shit down. No, I want no fire.
What they call them?
Firebug.
Yeah, a firebug, but no, it's like a
no
that they really.
No, but I wanted to see how a car drove, so I moved it and crashed. So,
how old you was?
7.
Did it make the news?
No.
Oh, all right.
Got my ass flipped real good. Like I said, I ain't burn no shit down, but I fucked the Saab 9000 up for the rest of his life.
Oh, no. But of course, they not releasing a young man's name because of his age, but it just was like, oh, what in the world for me? It happens all the time. For, you know, you hear Austin, you know what Austin is. That's someone who intentionally set a fire. So, yeah. I had viewed when the story first came out a video of him and his mom, I believe, walking into the store. And then they showed the little clip of, I think, like he had a lighter and he like put it on something or whatever. And then they just went in there and continued their shop and walked out, which name he seen it had took a blaze, you know, he said nothing or whatever. But that picture right there was the aftermath of this store burning.
And it probably scared him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he wasn't planning on doing that. And all how, yeah. So, I mean, even the response that he gave as far as him not saying nothing. And
yeah. I mean, that's what children's do. And, you know, a lot of times is a lot of talk about that too, you know, because, you know, recently here, when the 9-year-old shot the 14-year-old girl, Anaya Strada, and killed her. People are saying a lot of these laws and stuff need to be revised. You know, it's a sensitive subject for me because, you know, I advocated underneath that umbrella down at the Department of Juvenile Services. Didn't work for the department, but I was on a contract with an agency program where I advocated for those kids diligently with some of the same issues when they, you know, did crimes or they committed things, you know, against the law. With the law, I advocated for them to be connected the services and remain home versus being detained. But a lot of that was also, like I said, the disparities of we seeing our children of color, our Black children, mainly in the city, being affected by, you know, doing normal things. So a lot of the crimes and stuff wasn't to the extent of that. I mean, I remember even advocating for a lot of kids down there, like they would get in a fight, someone would drop their cell phone, someone would pick it up, and they were charging these kids with robbery. And,
heinous crimes.
Yes, with heinous crimes. It would be something like that. So, you know, that's why I did it, and I did it diligently. But yeah, something needs to be done because crime is still rapid here, whatever we know it affected us.
I will say this. I kind of work backwards in my career as far as because I work with mentally challenged and behavioral children now. And I also had the opportunity to work in corrections in the medical department in there.
Oh.
And working in a correctional facility, you seen babies coming in with double murders, carjackings, you know what I mean? And I have children that age, you know what I mean? And even taking it a step further to what I do now, and I see a lot of troubled children. And it's a catch-22 because I see a lot of Black kids, a lot of kids, children, girls, boys that do a lot here in the city that are of greatness, but it gets so overshadowed because a lot of times these children, they're not from Baltimore City. They end up being dumped here and they're left to not know how to live, to where they're out here in our streets and they have to commit crimes because they don't know how to actually live. And when it gets highlighted, where did it happen? It happened on the streets of Baltimore. And there are children from Baltimore when their asses could be from Bethesda somewhere. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, and it gets so overshadowed. Like I said, we see all of that. I think a lot of the crime and if we don't let them see themselves be great. You know what I mean? We were fortunate enough we got to see different things. But I can't tell you why it's all this killing. It's senseless. It's sad. It's disheartening. Our kids, they're so desensitized to it.
Yeah, they don't know who they are, so they can't just be.
Yeah,
they don't know who they are.
It's enough to me. I don't even want to talk about it because I will be on here, and you know me, I will. Because I'm so passionate about it, I will cry.
Well, guess what? You better have an herb for that. That's gonna help you with that. Look, I probably need that too, girl, because I'm a cry baby. That's why I be trying not to watch the news and all that and stuff.
Yeah, it is so sad. Every time I turn the news, I'm crying about something. You know what I mean? So, and that sometimes it gets so heavy, I gotta step away from it because it's sad, especially when it comes down to these children and all this killing.
It's very sad. Last week on my show, I highlighted the senseless murder of the Maryville student Jeremiah Brogdon, as well as the 14-year-old who was killed out in Milford Mill. I just don't have his name, but I lost it. But basically, they're trying to get his the intersection where he was killed at renamed. I think his name is Travis or something like that. But yeah, it's sad. It's disheartening. Girl,
it is, and even to just rethink that, and they weren't. I can't imagine. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you can't send them to school. Come on, we ain't. But my heart goes out to each and every one. You seen, and I seen where families, children are affected. You know what I mean? Dumb. Just the whole. I can't even. You know,
I didn't get it out. It's so much, girl. I know how it is when you live, girl, and your tongue be trying, and they know I be having mispronunciations all the day on time. But guess what, sis? I definitely understand, and I know where you are coming from. Those are the what in the world? Yes, they still
in the world.
Marilyn Mosby. That was one of the first things that we discussed. Also, Adnan Saeed getting his chance and getting his case vacated. And then I want to go back to this water, right? Because, you know, they got Marilyn Mosby on trial for lying or whatever else like that. But it was a couple of things as I was doing my research to share with you all about her situation that I seen and just wanted to say about like the E. coli and everything in the water supply. Like we've been having issues with this water supply here in Baltimore City. I had came across something a few years back when they just basically saying Baltimore City was ripping us off. It was a $9 million discrepancies where they didn't overcharge people. A lot of people lost their houses of tax sales. People were talking about monthly they were getting thousands of dollars water bill. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all all my business because this show topic is what's the business. I have a $3,000 water bill. Can't get a hold of anybody trying to what's your name, but I just reached out to social services because they have some new programs or whatever, and that's a mess as well. I mean, there's a lot of resources out here to help us guys, but I swear to goodness, you know, they're saying beggars can't be choosy because they definitely put you in a position to make you feel like you begging.
Yeah, they do.
I don't care when nobody say, like, even how people say I put my pride aside, like straight up, because y'all know I don't really have a sufficient income right now, but guess what? I have all
got an income, girl. That's your fucking income. It's yours. It's sufficient enough because it's yours.
You be on a hold for 3 hours. They call you back. It's a call center. The person on there can help you. They still say they gotta transfer you to Baltimore City. It is just a mess.
Yeah.
Who is this? It was a question. Is that Shanae? A big question is how many of these kids awards of the state? Oh, she's going back to the a lot of them. A lot of them. What happens? I want to go back to her question, and then I'm gonna come back to the E. coli because I'm reading the chat, Shelena. I don't know if you can see it, but somebody was basically saying that how many of them awards to the state? Oh, a lot of them. Because see, a lot of them when they come back and forth down here to this justice system, and I've seen it a lot of time. What they wind up doing is being in DJS custody.
Yeah.
So when they are, I forget, it's on the tip of my tongue, the actual terminology for it, but that's basically what it is. Them being awarded, basically saying that the state has a say-so. And in some of them cases, you know, the validity of doing that, I can see as warranted, but a lot of it is not. And when they do that, they take the parent right away. So the parent don't have no say-so. They let the children do whatever. They take them into the social services department as well.
And then it's this big battle with DSS, the caseworker, and the lawyer. And what the lawyers say is basically what the kids say. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness.
So,
yeah. They tell you shut up.
You can advocate.
Oh, be quiet, Shelena, because I used to be that person in there. I used to be that advocate in there too. What's your name and stuff? They used to be in there shutting me down, but I used to be right in there too.
Exactly. You
fighting for them kids. Fighting for them kids. She had another question.
And I do it every day. And I go home with that on my head every day. Excuse me 1 second.
Oh, yeah. You got to step away. You trying to get your son. Go ahead and mute it because I'm just going to read this. I'm going to read my chats over here. Of course, I do got them phone lines open, but I do appreciate all your comments in the text. Remember to always like, comment, and share. I'm so happy you are here talking to me, Shanae. The next question is, what happened to the $32 million that DPA found about 10 years ago? Honey, they found all this money. The point that I was getting to that was coming back to it, right, is that years ago when they were holding things about people in these discrepancies about these water bills and everything else like that, they found out that, like I said, it was like $9 million. They was overcharging people, right? And then on top of that, one lady had gotten to it, one of the ladies who had got this high old bill, she got into it and she started doing her own investigation and had found that a water fountain out Curtis Bay that was not operable was still receiving a water bill quarterly, right? And that our city, DPW, was still paying on it. See, since then, that water fountain is still being charged, but it has been removed and it's covered with cement. But the city is still paying for it. It's still breaking for it. I even seen something the other day where like a house talking about real estate up Park Heights going for $750,000, girl.
Really?
Yes, the goddamn home ownership association or whatever else like that. We'll probably talk about that more last week. Was basically saying that no, it's setting a precedent for that community is going to mess people up. But yes. This DPW stuff, we've been having issues with the water supply. I'm with the residents too of West Baltimore. I don't trust it, even though the boiler alert to boil water is up. It's still really questionable to me. Just like I told you when I was running my water, I smelled something and I did see reports where they were going to chlorize it more. They were checking and doing more checks. But did you know that they only check it once a month?
Well, in all this water thing coming up, and I do have family that did. So I thought it was checked a little bit more often.
No, girl. They check it once a month. And at one time a month when they check it, they do gather a lot of samples. I think it's like 390 something samples. They take it from different unique sites or whatever else may be the case. But my whole thing is, it happened Friday. We ain't find out to Sunday, Monday.
Right.
When they first just put the alert out. So the city council is definitely still calling for accountability with our residents.
Right. So how long was it like that though? You know what I mean?
Chill. I'm scared to drink it. Like I told you, I think I put a little bit on my tongue, feel funny and everything else like that. But I ain't had no no cramps or no vomiting and no diarrhea or anything else like that. But it's definitely different. I mean, I hope they doing all they have to do, of course, to clear it up. Water being an essential necessity to our survival.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just scary. You know, I think, you know, when all of that stuff was going in Flint and everything else like that, it just continues to show us that we have to be conscious of when we see things like this happening in other cities, happening in other towns.
To take heed and
we cannot negate to the fact that is around the corner.
It could be you, or just take heed to the you know what I'm saying, the technology yourself. When that pandemic happened, America closed the fuck down. Okay, so we were out here by ourselves. At the end of the day, I needed you and you fucking needed me. And that was it. Because insurance companies ain't have us, nobody had it. If a motherfucker across the street ain't have it, what was you going to do?
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? So even down to the water supply. If you stay ready, you ain't get fucking ready. I got water downstairs. I got rainwater over. You collect. You mean get your own shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stay ready and be particular about the waters that you get. Don't go buy no fucking Dasani.
I'm real interested. I want to learn how to grow vegetables and different things like that. I want to do all of that. Like I do, because I'm to the point I don't trust nothing. People will be saying that I'm a conspiracy theorist. Call it what you want to. I just feel like I'm conscious, and when you woke, you just never sleep. You know what I mean?
And you
I have a comment.
I'm sorry.
What's that, babe?
I have a comment.
Yeah, go ahead. We just talking. That's my fly guy up in the sky. Yes, that's
I do. You know, I like to interject a little bit of positivity into these things, because
that's right.
We do have to realize that everything that, you know, consciously, what we always do is talk down about our city.
Yeah.
And we don't really recognize the good part of it. Because I say that because when they found out about this water issue, you see, unlike Mississippi, they just got clean water back. Ours was turned around immediately. It's only been a week and a half since this happened. And we got to recognize that that is not the same thing that happened with Flint, and it's not the same thing that just happened with Mississippi. That we turned our water around, and we have to give credit where credit is due, that we had the ability to clean this water faster than any of those other cities.
Right, you gotta praise God for that. That's a very awesome, good point, Monty. Yeah, a lot of times
we can still be sitting here boiling water, and we're not. Mississippi is still boiling water today.
Yes, they are.
They don't even trust that the system is clean.
They are. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Well, you know, on that note,
here often, you know, we have contaminated water. So the testing that they were doing, as though is, you know, just because they're saying, you know, they test monthly, that testing was working up until now.
Yeah.
So monthly testing was working. Now maybe they might do it more often in the future, but the monthly testing was working up until now.
Right. Well, you know,
they feed Baltimore City. The water feeds other counties and other, you know, places. You know, it's not just the city.
Right. And that's what I was thinking. You know, even when it was like they were saying that it was in certain areas or whatever else like that, and you know, people in the county, whatever, was like, we ain't got nothing to worry about or whatever else like that. I was like, it kind of to just put everybody on alert. Just like he said on that note, to speak some positivity into it. I just hope that they're able to address anything. Yes, we are blessed because they say, you know, you can boil it down, but I definitely can smell the difference. I definitely taste the difference. And some of the residents who were definitely affected, where it was primarily in that area right there at Sandtown and Winchester and Harlem Park, have gotten help from the project. What is that? Project Baltimore, from the Fox 45, to actually get an independent person to test it. So we'll see the results of that. But that's an awesome point that you bring up about how fast our turnaround was. So you gotta thank God for that. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And in thanking God, so much loss. We talked about, of course, the senseless crime here in the city. And we got some people who were predominant in its entertainment industry who just passed away. This week, Jesse Powell.
Yeah.
Baby, it's you. I love that song. Yes, I love that song. Yes. Rest in peace to the brother. He hit the charts, I think, topping back in 1996. So that's telling a little bit of my age, because I love that.
I'm going to say, don't tell my business.
Nothing. You couldn't tell me nothing. But it was announced on Twitter by his sisters, Trina and Tamara. Powell, actually his sister Tamara, who was a Grammy winner when she was in the R&B group, Trina and Tamara. I really didn't. I gotta look back up on it or whatever, but I was like, wow, I didn't even know.
I didn't know that till you just said it.
His siblings and everything else like that. So it's no details into his passing or what the causing of his passing were. But he passed away the day after his birthday being on September the 12th. And he passed away on September the 13th. So it may be, like we say, some illness or something like that. But rest in peace to Jesse Powell. I definitely love that song. That definitely was one in my childhood. That I was grown with that song. You couldn't tell me nothing. Your little boy and everything else like that was singing that and all that other goodness stuff. So it's like I say, he passed away. He passed away just 51 years old. Passed away peacefully in his Los Angeles home. That brings me to another resident out there in Los Angeles who was a comedian, David Arnold. Was you ever looking at him online?
I heard about that too.
Yes, David Arnold. Died suddenly. I think he suffered a heart attack, but he was supposed to be coming here. It's kind of been my little thing to be going to the Comedy Factory. Girl, I take myself on dates and everything. He was laughing a little bit. I was asleep. I'm gonna get my food for being acting me about me being asleep. But actor, comedian, sitcom writer, David Arnold. He passed away like a week shy before Jesse Powell. He was in Los Angeles, and he was supposed to be coming here in November. And I was really excited about getting a ticket, whatever, to his show, because I follow him on social media. Very funny guy. He has a couple of specials on Netflix. I think one of his last ones was like the Fat Ballerina or something like that. So check it out if you can. Look him up still on social media. Giving prayers out. There he go. Picture David Arnold. Yes, hilarious. He used to do the.
I didn't know who he was. I heard about his passing on the video and just heard a lot of people calling in. I was like, when I seen his face, I was like, oh damn.
Yes, and one of the comedians that I am thinking about going to see this weekend at the Comedy Factory, Garrett Owen, shared something on his social media websites and just was sharing about how he actually helped him get his start. And he was saying like he wanted to do it. He had the pleasure of meeting David Arnold's, I believe, first wife. He later remarried to who is his widow now with his 2 children, but his first wife had kind of got him connected. Gary Owens was like, I lied. I was like, oh yeah, I'm a comedian too, whatever. He kind of gave him the insight on what he needed to do, told him what he needed to do. Gary said he had a whole bunch of questions. He kept on trying to call him. He said, I stopped answering his calls. He said, I wanted to know why he went to the club. He said Gary Owens was popping. He was getting in the club he couldn't even get into. So it was just real touching. I've seen a lot of people giving tributes to him as well as Jesse Powell. So like I said, people are dying suddenly. Like they used to say, here today, gone tomorrow, but here today, gone this hour. So just continue to love and pray for one another. Keep going. keep living your life. You know what I mean? You better live. I'm telling you, you better live, because life is more about just dying. That's right. God bless you. God loves you. So definitely just wanted to bring that up about them. I was like, wow, oh my goodness. It's like one day I was watching him on the on the social media, and it's like the next day I came on in, it was like another comedian, they was like announcing, and I was like, no, ain't no way.
Right.
So like I'm going through, I went to his page, you know, because I was following him, and yes, it is true. Rest in peace, Jesse Powell. Rest in peace, David Arnold. You know, kind of stuff like that. When tragedy happens with me, I have real bad anxieties about death, about, like I said, about illnesses and everything. It's like, because one thing, when one happened, then it bring up the rest. Like it just all comes back. It's like we're always in a constant mourning, constant grieving. But prayers go out to the family. Just like how we spoke here about the senseless crime here and the killings, because it's always too sudden, too soon. It just is. I mean, even when you know, I'm thinking in Jesse Powell case, you know, him passing away the day after his birthday, he probably was, you know, battling some type of illness. Yeah. Or something like that. And even when you know that it's coming, or it's, you know, or death or something like that, it's no way to prepare for that. It's not. And everybody's grieving process is different. You know, some days you be fine. Some days it just hits you. You know, you just cry out of nowhere. Sometimes when I reminisce about my loved ones, one moment I'm laughing and joking, I'm remembering a memory. And then the next day, that same memory that made me laugh about them one day will make me cry. Yeah. So, you know, we just got to keep each other lifted up, acknowledge that everybody is going through, but you better give praises if you're going through and you're getting through. You heard me. Yeah. And some people, is not getting through. So you gotta praise God. Girl, I got some videos. We is coming. We've been on here talking. We are in the final hour of the show. I have Shelena Brown here with me. Blossom Blends. Holla at her. Get on that table for that wood therapy. I liked it that frame, but it hurted a little bit. But I liked it the other one too. I remember that little machine you put on me. It was like ringing in my ear. Oh, so I was like, girl, what is that? Like I was being electrocuted. You know, I try anything, girl. Try to get some of this fed up off of me. She already gave me a day. She said, "What you coming tomorrow?" So don't stand me up. I'm gonna be up there bright and early. I mean, come on, I'll be here. When you get off and everything, I was like, that I'm gonna be up there and bright and early. But we got some what in the what's, girl. We got some what in the what's. You know, we be talking about the police and how bold they is, girl. I'm ready to get my producer to play this video, and I was just gagging. I sent it to him. It was a long kind of clip, so we're gonna play a part of it. But just the comments and just the wait a minute. What was the saying, girl? Somebody watch this. Why don't you get a chance? What they say? Somebody come here. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Just watch this. Just watch this. I was floored. Just watch this.
The Gremlin Street Gang is responsible for hundreds of violent crimes, murders, armed robberies, witness intimidation, burglaries, drug trafficking, extortion, and brutal beatings. We've arrested 10 of these thugs and have warrants on 7 more. We have felony warrants for your arrest. You will be hunted. You will be tracked. And if you raise your weapon to a man like me, we'll return fire with superior fire. Darren Carter, you think men like these are afraid of an uneducated, 125-pound punk like you that's never won a fair fight in your life and holds your gun sideways? Young man, I'll meet you on solid ground anytime, anywhere, light or heavy. Makes no difference to me. You won't walk away. Look at you. Men like us, son, we do dumbbell presses with weights bigger than you. And the convicts in jail, most of those men are good people who just found themselves crossed with the law. They're not evil, and they don't respect you or any punk like you. They'll toss you around like a rag doll. I encourage every citizen watching this to look into your own heart and find the American courage that conquers all evil. I implore you to listen to this message and stand up Take back your streets. Take back your country. Come forward with information about these heathens that have terrorized your community. And for those who would use
Girl, he was going in, and he sounded like the biggest gang leader.
He was.
And you remember what I said? It was.
They had him put this commercial. But see, what we didn't get to play towards the end, right? He had made a statement after saying all of that. You know, he called these gangs heathen. You heard him say, "You step out, you want to raise your gun on fire. We're going to get you with superior fire. You will be tracked."
And that's the thing about it. It's the choice of words for me.
Yes. What you say is how you say it. And then he made a comment.
He said it in the like we couldn't show that part because he said it's not about race, but then you choose the word heathen. Right. Which was always directed at Black people from the past.
How about it?
I directed to their fucking asses. They fucking heathen.
And what happened to, they usually use the word thugs. He didn't use that as much as he used that word heathen.
He ain't want to use that.
That was the one that's the part that was piercing to me.
No, and then trying to support it, and what he had said at the end was like, and if you think this is about the race, look behind me. Talking about the black man that was behind me. Look at him behind me. This is not about no race. And look at Paul. I could not believe. I was like, "Ooh, if he don't sound like one of them good old boys and just want to do what he wants to do to people or whatever," I'm like, really? You know how we be talking about some of these issues that our kids have. A lot of people say back to the upbringing, us being better, that we have to set a better example. I just want to make a statement on that. Like a lot of this stuff, even with, our city leadership, even with the police or whatever, I was like that, like the conduct a lot of times is just so inappropriate. And, when they make that point, like lead by example, like you at work, you supposed to that one professional. Like I get it. I get it that, sir, you frustrated. You want to get these game up. I get it. Do your job. Do it to your full extent. But just the way he spit that off. Oh no. He
remember Officer Friendly?
It ain't no officer. Oh yeah, I remember Officer Friendly.
Right.
We used to be happy when they used to help them visit the
right. Or the police officer that used to actually walk the beat and know the neighborhood and know the block.
Nah, we talked about that last week on a couple of over in the Eastern District. They are trying to put more bike patrols in that area because they say that it's more community based. It helps with community policing. It makes it more easier to approach people. It kind of sets that precedence of I'm hanging out in the community, and
I'm here to feel more comfortable. It's a stereotype behind police. We've seen it.
Yeah, but honey, I was appalled. I was like, what in the what? They really let this man make this commercial, and then look at him standing there with his gun.
Right.
Look at him standing there with his gun. He looked just like one of them men that stormed the Capitol.
He might be one. That shit was
getting this crap from. That's where they're getting this crap from. They just very bold.
Yes.
I don't even know what the legal precedence is here because, quite frankly, I think there could be some legal precedence in charging him.
And it was like making a threat.
It's a threat. Like,
even if he like made a threat, like, oh, and you're fired if you want. We're gonna return that superior power. Then he called the boy out, a punk like you.
125 pounds. Talk about the man
convicts and all that. I was like, Dad, he threatened him. He already let them know, like he basically gonna be attacked when he get to lock him up. Like you gonna have problems. Like,
right, because you already it's intimidation. That's the word I was looking for. Intimidation. It's intimidation. You said you had a warrant, but your warrant isn't to take the law into your own hands. Your warrant is to enforce the law. So if you have a warrant, that is to go and arrest, not to come out with your guns blazing and talking about shooting somebody.
That's it. It's like you intimidating them, you threaten them, and it's like, what else it too, like inciting it.
Right. So
Like-
you remember what I was telling you before the show about what the initial reason for why people form gangs is. It's
Yeah.
typically for the protection of themselves and their families. And
Right.
it didn't turn to violence and criminality once
Right.
it's, formed. But the intention, their first intention was always to protect themselves from basically from a higher power.
Mm.
But it
another
always turns
thing,
into a negative situation because they do start to commit crimes. But like I said, the intention was the intent. It is the main focus of it, with the intent to protect themselves. So this doesn't help.
right? That's
You
Because
know,
they
that's what I'm
protect
saying.
themselves.
Like,
right.
the commercial, it made it like even if these wasn't the guy's attitude to say, are they coming for us? We don't want no trouble. Like, what you think?
What do you think they're gonna think? I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and he called that boy out, called him a punk.
Or anybody for that matter. Even what if it's somebody that didn't even have anything to do with that, but interpret something else from that particular commercial. You know what I mean?
First of all, even though you may be connected or identified with being involved in something, I thought that you were innocent until proven guilty. So even if there's an issue or whatever is going on, that does not automatically say that these guys are guilty or that these guys would, or like you're letting out stuff like would give you an impression that they would want to shoot at you if you come for them. You know what I mean? Like, it just was a bit too much.
Exactly.
I don't know who let
this
this commercial get out.
Video
I thought, like, is this real?
It's real.
It's real. Video is that we have a warrant out for your arrest. Why don't you turn yourself in so we don't have to look for you?
And
that's what your intent should have been.
And let's address this.
So if somebody else that may be on the run that wasn't even mentioned there, see that video, is that going to encourage them to want to turn themselves in, or is that going to encourage them to try to get further away? You know what I mean?
No. The way that looked is, even if it was, yes, I definitely would try to be getting further away. Right. And if I wasn't involved in these particular warrants, I definitely would have some type of concern about this police department, this group, this whatever, this group, whoever they in, coming to serve me with anything. Because I don't like his whole demeanor, his whole energy.
Coming for me. Y'all gonna kill me.
Yes, and that's what he putting out there.
Right. I'm dead. And any one of these people behind me, black or white, is going to do it if they see me.
Oh, he definitely made a point about that. At the end,
it's either me or that. Everybody.
It wasn't about racial. That was another thing that just like rubbed me the wrong way. After he made the comment to say that it's not about the racial, why you had to say that? Because you know that it was. And
that's
then
like somebody said,
how we know all races do. It's not about that, because look at my black colleagues behind me.
Mm.
Look at them. So it ain't racist.
I agree.
How many times do people defend them not being racist? Say, I got black friends.
Right.
I got black friends. I love black people. That's what it was given. This ain't about race, because look at them behind me. This is about the law, boys. That's how he was. He might as well just said all that. We gonna get you, man. Yeah, he might as well just went there, because that's exactly what it was given to me. It was not given no modern day alert, no type of public service announcement about the way. It just gave me some slave shit. Like I ain't like it. I ain't like it at all. But that's not the half of it. See, that's what they do when they coming against us. But I also have another clip, Shelena. I'm glad that you here too. See, these about what in the what, girl? Because I just be like, what in the what? Right?
I'm about to post up and look at this.
This other one right here. See, they don't only get indignant when you come up against us. Let me let them know that they get indignant when they're against their self. So if you're working with them and you're going against anything,
what's the other one? I only had that one
that they're doing. Oh, you don't have it. Well, on the other one, whatever. I thought I said it to him, but on the other one, basically what it was like this video of the police, and he was like assaulting.
Oh, okay. I don't have it. If you give me a moment, I can get it.
Okay. Well, he just was like cussing this guy, right? And his colleague was trying to stop him. Girl, he went off on her. The producer said, give him a minute. So I'm gonna let y'all see the video.
I think. I'm gonna wait.
What you say? I think I seen that one.
I think. I thought it was his wife because I seen it, but I wasn't listening. If this is the same,
it was his colleague. It was another officer out there with him. He just was cursing this man so badly. Someone they had taken into custody. I'm talking about using all these obscenities. He told him that he would take his spirit, take his soul out his body. What that mean?
Oh wow,
I'm gonna kill you, right?
I'm gonna kill you.
That's a threat. So
Oh,
the lady officer like kind of like tried to grab him, I think, because she knew he was like going overboard, just doing too much, like how the police do. But he basically, in my opinion, was going through something, had to be. Like, I don't think that they get enough of the psychiatric support when they in these type of departments, and a lot of them, I don't know how the screening go for police officers or whatever. So that I think they have to take a lot of sector tests and all this other stuff and everything else like that. But a lot of them, like I said, they are a mess. They are.
I mean, dealing with stresses, and
they don't like us, so they don't know how to deal with us. They hate us. Everything that's been, they be showing it. They don't. Oh yeah, I got Janae over here in these comments. She said, "What happened to the right to be presumed innocent until being proved guilty?" Sis, Queen, you know that don't apply to us. Us black folk, we guilty until proven innocent.
And then you still guilty in some kind of way.
Prove you're innocent.
How many times do you see a person get charged for one thing and or not? It could be something, anything that's happened, they'll go back and they'll talk about their prior charges and everything that shouldn't even matter at that point in time.
Oh, but you know, that's a lot of bit of the order of that department anyway. You know, a lot of times you'll get locked up for one thing, but their habit is to throw all these charges on you because they know that if it's
or
just
even
one,
go back,
it might
even go if you were rehabilitated and you had a charge from 15 years ago, they're going to go back and highlight that charge from back then and tie some kind of way into now, even if it has nothing to do with it. So that innocent you presume guilty, I'm sure proven guilty. I don't.
Oh yeah, they have a whole method. They have a whole method, girl. We don't be innocent until proven guilty. We be guilty until proven innocent. And that's why I say a lot of times if you do something and somebody you get locked up. Let's just say, a person may get locked up for marijuana, right? So
right.
anything, it don't be just that one charge. I remember when I had got locked up for a DUI, my first time ever being arrested, girl, got locked up on my birthday. I think I was 29. This when I was turning 29 on the 29th, right? I was lost. Right. Out in Baltimore County. I jumped on that 695, girl. When I tell you that time of morning, it was like going on I couldn't see. It was dark. I was trying to find my way, trying to find an exit. Supposed to have been leaving there to go to another bar. The state trooper pulled me over like he was, trying to help me. Yeah, miss, I see you going slow, whatever. It's a highway. You okay? Whatever. Yeah. Girl railroaded me, asked me to take the sobriety test. Girl, I got on test. Oh, yeah, you did good. Then told me you got to take me back to the station. I'm going to have to blow into the monitor because the monitor wasn't working out on the thing. I'm like, okay. Oh, left my car on the side of the highway. I go to the station, I blow. They keep telling me I'm not blowing hard enough. I'm like, I am blowing hard enough. Girl, they was threatening me. It was dark. It just was a mess. It was my birthday. I remember the guy trying to be nice to me. It was name girl. At this point, I'm outraged. I'm cussing him out because motherfucker, you done locked me up on my birthday. I'm ready to go to a bar and finish celebrating. Like, I know I'm not drunk. Now, at that time, I probably was under the influence of that marijuana, girl, and had it on me because I remember it was hot and stuff. And he was like, oh, I smell it. And I was like, I'm appalled. Do you smoke cigarettes? Because back when I was smoking cigarettes, because if you don't smell them, you should smell them too. But yeah, girl, railroaded me, gave me about 15 charges when I tell you, reckless endanger and all that, but they do that because they know possibly one is not going to stick, and then they use that too in their negotiations against you because then they'll start giving you, playing this game like we'll drop this and we'll drop that if you admit to this, state that you're guilty to this. So me being young, trying to get out of it, I think they had suspended my license. I paid extra money to go to the administrative hearing where it was only suspended for 15 days. So I did get it back before I was supposed to, but it just was the fact that I went through all that. I remember the report. The report was a lie. I tried to do my investigation on the police. All his reports were basically same verbiage. Said my speech was slurred, girl, all this shit. If I was so drunk and they said my blood level was a point over, I think it was supposed to be a 0.09. No, the 0.08 was legal. I think they were saying mine was a 0.09. Whatever it was, mine was a point higher.
Right.
Girl, they gagged me on my 29th birthday, locked my ass up. I did get out about an hour or two later, and guess what I did?
What?
Caught a ride and went right back on 695 and got my motherfucking car and rode home.
Yeah, I got locked up. I had an officer.
With the grass in my pocket, but if I was drunk, why y'all ain't told my car?
Because they can do that.
They can do that, and they did what they wanted to do with me, baby.
Yeah, they came to my house, and because I told them they weren't coming in, and who they were trying to escort and wasn't, and the officer did not like my mouth, and I was talking to him kind of, like you in my house.
Yeah, it's like I was being my.
That's why I got a 2nd degree assault charge for running my mouth. Remember?
Oh my goodness, girl! They had verbal to me. I had my little sister with me who shares the same birthday as me. I'm like my god sister Rodney, little sister little Isha, me and her share the same birthday, 7/29. Girl, they took her in the car, dropped her off outside the exit. They weren't supposed to do that. Left her out there in that dark.
Everybody said, what's she supposed to do? And what was supposed
They left her out there in that dark. Girl, like I said, if it wasn't for phone when I went, they took my stuff, but I had called my homeboy to go pick her up outside of the exit. Once he picked her up, he came down to the jail. They came down there and waited for me. Then when they was releasing me and I got them charge papers, girl, I seen all them charges, about 15 charges. I was like, what the hell is this?
Right.
Girl wrote me, definitely took a lot of money in my pocket. I had to go to the driver's education course for the alcohol and everything, girl. It just wore me out. I was so glad when it was over. They had me on probation. I had to pay a monthly fee. Mind you, it's my first charge ever, first time being arrested for anything. And the fact that it was my birthday, it definitely rubbed me the wrong way, and I was not living for it. So all that friendly cop shit, trying to be officer friendly now, like I just was not feeling him. He act like he was going to help me, like he was trying to help me, girl, and then railroaded me. So quota must have been up, and they used old Chastity Dorsey to fulfill that damn quota. So that's like my little story. But I've been harassed numerous times by the police or whatever like that. But that was one of my stories. And just like I said, after that happened, I was like, I know this is happening for a reason. After that, I was like, I want to help people that deal with stuff like that. Because I didn't see people with the machines in that car. Thank goodness it ain't never come to that. I did have liquor in the car, but my bottle was closed. I had a whole 5th of liquor. I know he took my 5th of liquor. I don't never remember him pulling out. He probably took it, drunk it with his friends. But he wasn't getting that marijuana though.
You said he was not.
I did hear that. Look, I did have that marijuana though on me. So I had that marijuana on me, and it was hot. I was a little bit heavier then. Baby, it was hot. I remember when they put their handcuffs on me, right? They set me in the front, not in the back. Thank God, because it was in my back pocket. So I had room to grab it out my back pocket, girl, and I put it like in a crack of my butt. I do that. And it was loud. That's when the loud first came on. You talking about loud? That police officer was like, and I smell it. And you'll be in more trouble. I was thinking to myself, I was doing, baby, I don't care what he gonna have to dig in my tail to get this. He had me in the ball pit. So nothing never came out of what's your name. So that's just how I looked at it. When I look back at it or whatever, I say, I always say, because I acknowledge God in everything, every part of my life. It was a misfortunate situation, but I feel like it probably was God just preventing me from something, because like I said, it was my birthday and I was prepared. I had that on me and I was hit. I had one like a glass of wine or something when I was out in that house, and I knew I did not want to go there. That's why I don't go out there. I don't go past there, whatever. And if I do, I'm definitely taking the city. No 695 for me. But I think it was this, preventing me from something because I was gonna go that Dunga. People was waiting for me. It was a little bar out there, and I said I probably was gonna get too tore up or whatever, So it could have been worse. So I think
it could have been worse. Ain't nobody playing for you to end up in nobody's jailhouse either.
Yes, I certainly didn't, but guess what? That was one to remember, baby. They say you get locked up on your birthday, you definitely had fun. So I had fun, and I remember being released. Like I said, I had got a good friend, Sonny. Yeah, Sonny came and got me here. Picked my sister up from the exit, came and got me, and we still party. We was up to about 4, 5 to 6 in the morning, but it just was a mess. Okay, I'm getting the word that video is ready because I definitely wanted y'all to see it. Just like I was making a point is that we see how he gave that message just totally inappropriate at work. And guess what? They only don't be like that with us. If you are in a department and you go against anything that gang is doing, they turn on their own. Yeah. Watch this, Shelena.
You ain't one of them.
Watch this. Yeah, they will turn on their own. They will turn on them. They will turn on them. He was going, and then there was a lady that he grabbed like that. It's gonna come on eventually, guys. But yeah, it was a lady that was going on like that. Like I said, it was the police officer going off on some guy that they had.
On my wrist, I can't move. Marshall, let go. Somebody get in the car. All right, get in the car. No, he doesn't want in the car. Get in the car. Get in the car. All right, I'm getting in. Get your feet in. What's up? Hey, look at me. You want to play games? You play with the wrong mother. What you gotta do, man? You gonna mace me? Look at me, mother. You want to play games? You ever get disrespectful with my officers? I will remove your soul from your body.
That's why he's telling them to look at him. So the guy realized and said, "You gonna make me
touch me again, sir. Get the f off,
sir." Oh,
just let it be.
We clear?
Yes, sir.
And I'll see you in about 5 minutes.
He's scared at this point because he's choking his own
like I'm running somewhere. I'm right here. Liz, can you stop pulling the handcuffs on my wrist? God, you don't listen. You're not stronger than me, Liz. I'm letting you know.
All
right, let's go. We're gonna take a seat. Watch your head getting into the car. Liz, can you stop pulling the cuffs?
Just get in the car. He cussed that boy out.
Yeah.
Cussed that boy out. I will take
And he grabs her by her cleft.
Wait a minute. She was trying to really get him like you are going overboard. Like this is not police conduct that we're supposed to be displaying or displaying in this situation. So to me, she was being an awesome co-worker, like her ethical things that she swore to stand out. So she grabbed him, I guess, trying to be helpful. Like, look, you doing too much. But he was already there. He grabbed her by that neck, like, don't you ever look. Don't you ever put your motherfucking hands on me. He told her, I'll see you in a couple of minutes. You see
in 5 minutes.
You see when he went back to that car, baby, open that door. But that boy was like, yes, sir.
Be clear. See you in 5 minutes.
Like, yes, sir. He was like, shit, I better be quiet because if he choking his own, this motherfucker.
I'm going to die for real.
I'm going to die. It ain't funny, but it just show how blatant they is with stuff that they do, y'all. And when they
you also got to realize that that's Florida. It's Florida too.
That's what I was wondering because because of his hair.
They can't control themselves. He was already there and they can't control themselves. I say it with here all the time. I done seen police approach situations, and as soon as they approach, before they even know what's going on, they cursing. Get the fuck down. Put this, what's your name? And I ain't talking about coming to nobody's house. I mean, you see this on the corner on the street. It stopped and it slacked down when we had Sister Merlin Mosby up in that office when they said they ain't going for none of that. And that police, we had that whole thing with the consent decree that posed that they still trying to implement effectively. That ain't even all the way been rolled out effectively in a time frame that it has supposed to be.
Right.
And in a lot of these programs that they got going on, that is supposed to be for the people, they call it Hug a Thug program or whatever. But
wow.
I just wanted to show y'all these videos. Like I said, the first one, I just was appalled that they actually let him record this, make this, and they put it out after they watching it. So we know what their mentality is there. And then even with this one, I'm like, okay, he's going overboard with this guy. Look at me. The guy realizes like, oh, he gonna mace me because he must have been pointing the mace. And he was like, well, mace me then. It also was reported that he was making the other officers turn off their body cameras. So I think the body camera that was being shown was just that one officer. But you see, if you go against him, even if you got on a uniform just like him, it can happen to you. So I think this is a message for the rest of the police on the forces or whatever. Y'all gotta get them bad apples out of there. You see something, y'all tell us all the time. Don't lead by example. Y'all tell us all the time. If we see something, say something. So kudos to that female officer. I don't know if this was her superior, like if he was a supervisor or what, but I hope, excuse me, I definitely hope that she reported him and something was done. I gotta look up on it, but he definitely would have been charged.
Every right to detain him.
Definitely would have been charged. Do you hear me?
But she had every right to detain him as well. The officer, she had every right to detain the other officer if she had chose to, because the I'm losing words. All right, the person that was already in custody was in custody.
He was in custody
and in the car. So when you threatened him, again, here we go with that word threat. He threatened him while inside of a police car that he was going to mace him while handcuffed.
Yeah.
And inside the back of a police car with more than 5 officers surrounding that car.
Yeah.
There was no imminent danger. So he could have been cited for threatening that person in that car with mace.
Yes.
Causing bodily harm.
It's just a mess. I come across so many videos like this. I came across a video of a young man, I think 20 years old, who they were executing a warrant. They went into his home, something similar to the tragic events that led up to Breonna Taylor's death. But they went in to serve a warrant. The young man was shocked about his sleep. He was shot dead. They were saying that he had a weapon. And that'd be the thing too. They know what to say. So even if they shot this brother and his body was reacting basically from the shot of the bullet. So just imagine they pop through your house. They come in to serve a warrant. He had like his vape or something like that in his hand. So like when he heard it, he like jumped up or whatever, girl. The police automatically just shot. Boom. Right? Then he run in the room. Stop resisting. But the guy he was done. He was dying. His body was going in shock. So instead of rendering aid to this brother, they were still trying to like handcuff him. Like they did handcuff him. You know, he died. He was pronounced dead by the time they got him okay and go to the thing. So it just be stuff like this. I come across a ton of these videos, different things that I see. So it just real, y'all. Y'all just got always be on alert. I try as much. If I don't have to have no encounter with them, like I said, I had a lot of instances where I'm shell-shocked from the police. I really am. And I know a lot of it has to do with me living in the city and just like my experiences.
Ask yourself this question though.
What's that?
Why aren't you a police officer?
Why I'm not a police officer?
That's a question for both of you. Both you and Shelena.
I'm not a police officer, and I think
why aren't you a police officer?
I'm not a police officer. I think because I don't want to be connected to what they're about. See, my whole life, you know, even like Shelena mentioned, the officer friendly and everything. I remember being in elementary school when they came. But my whole life, I never had a positive image of them. They never were. I never seen them as a helpful source. And far as with me in my life work, I've always did things that was helpful to people. So here I never understood that the police, until I got older and and I got the concept. But when I was younger and growing up, no, I didn't aspire to be a police because I didn't see them as a positive or a good thing. It was like a gang to me. Like every time I seen them, they were doing it. Never was friendly, aside from the officer friendly that I seen in school.
Shelena.
So I wasn't inspired to be no police officer.
Yeah, I just
Shelena
never
worked in the corrections though. You was in there, girl. You was.
Yeah, I was on the medical side.
Oh, right.
I just never, it's just me and me just have just not being. That just never was my thing. Not that I had more bad experiences with police officers versus good. I've seen bad officers, things happen with bad officers. I can name quite a few that have been very helpful in situations with me. I know some good ass officers, and shout out to them because they really love their job and they're out there and they're doing it. So I just never chose to be a police officer. It's not my realm. My realm is helping people.
Right. But the crazy part is though, not a police officer now that it makes me rekindle a memory. I did used to want to be like an investigator. Like, cause I'm still like in the show. So I guess that's a police or whatever. I used to want to be like an investigator. I had a couple of career paths that I used to say when I was little. I wanted to kind of be like an investigator to find stuff out. I don't know if that was just the nosy side of me all the way back then, flourishing. But I wanted to do that. I wanted to work like in forensic, and I also wanted to be like a general surgeon. Like I wanted to help people, like if they were in accidents, we came and something was wrong.
Yeah,
I wanted
that's
to
always
be
been my
like I'm not one of them girls that shies away from gory stuff. Like I'm not scared of blood, or if someone has a sore. Like I used to always be one like I want to see it. Let me see. I used to be the one want to pick your face, pop a bump, help
the
you
reason
pop
why I
a
asked that question on why y'all why haven't y'all chosen that field of being a police officer is because it comes with a lot of having a superiority complex. That's what was just exhibited in that video. That man thought he was so superior to the young man that he had already, like I said, already detained. He was already cuffed. You had more than 5 officers surrounding him.
Wow.
Why
are you doing all that?
He actually could have stepped away. If he was that angry, you should have stepped away. You should have had no reason to be involved in that.
But we see it all the time. Even with us, that the part is the police don't want you to ask no questions. They get offended by that.
But see, the interesting part is, which is why I said I had to bring up that it was in Florida, is because they are touted and pat on the back for that kind of behavior. When again, you are supposed to be enforcing the law and not being judge and jury. Your job is to detain and bring them in to be fingerprinted and photographed, and that ends your process in the job.
That's it.
Yeah.
You don't need to be doing no threatening. You don't need to be pulling no mace. You don't need to be doing any of that because that person, again, was already detained.
Caring about your opinion. Nobody cares about what you think.
It was a superiority complex. And then, like I said, it exhibited the way he turned around and then enforced his superiority complex on that other officer who was trying to protect him.
Yes.
She was protecting him from breaking the rules.
Don't you put your damn hands on me ever again. And I think she just tapped her shoulder. I don't even really see how she tried to which way, but I think she
pulled him. She was pulling him back because again, he was getting ready to get in trouble by getting ready to attempt to mace that man who's already detained with his hands behind his back.
He was going in the back seat and he was picking. He wanted them to do something else. It
was nothing that man could do to remotely endanger those officers with his hands behind his back and being in the car already.
Oh, he wanted him to do something.
So now you got your mace pointed in when your hands are the free one. You are the threat. You are the threat, officer. You were the threat in that situation, not the detainee. And he should be brought up on charges. I'm going to follow this because I would be surprised if the law is already in process.
That's what I'm saying. Like how it even falls on her, it definitely should be something harassment.
Attorney Crumb is probably already on this.
Attorney or something. Like, come on. And like I said, if I was that lady officer and you did that to me.
Now, because I want to know what the offense was. What did he get arrested for you to be that damn angry?
Yeah, you are really angry. You are really angry. And then for you to put your hands on me.
It is not the job. That is not the job where you have a license to carry a weapon to be that damn angry. That is not the job for you. You need to retire. And he probably is coming up on retirement age and he needs to be out of it.
And that's
how many people do we got in these jobs that are just like, you know, that don't belong in it?
Come on.
How many people do we got in these jobs or whatever? Like, even when we was talking about what's the business in these businesses, we want to go back to that. You know, my guest tonight was Shelena Brown from Blossom Blends, who had to have some challenges and stuff. But since we was talking about what's the business, like, what is that too? Like, a lot of people who said, like you, Shelena, that's definitely your spirit and your personality that, you know, to be helpful, like you said, that's inside of that medicine or whatever. But some of these people in their customer service, I don't understand how you be wanting to get into certain jobs and you do not have the demeanor. It's not you. You don't have it for it.
The demeanor
for you. But guess what? Guess what, girl? We were talking. We out of time. It's already 9. It's already 9. But you're gonna have to join me again, Ms. Brown. Yes, you is. I thank you again, Shelena Brown, Blossom Blends. Check her out. IG account is Blossom Blends. She likes to do everything directly. Holla at her. You already know I'm back here next Thursday, same time, talking to you. What's up? What's up? What's what? On a You Better Live radio show through Be Exposed Radio, Be Exposed Media. Come back next week. Talk to the girl, the queen, the goddess, ChasReal, Miss Lady Cake Mix. God loves you. God bless you. You better live. See y'all next week.